In this section, we will learn math class. The math class is part of the Java Lang package, so you don't have to import java.lang. The math class contains methods that perform various mathematical functions. These include absolute value, square root, exponentiation, many trigonometric functions. In this section, I will teach you about how to use absolute value function and pivot W and the square root method. The method invoking in math class is different from that of string class. When the string object calls the method, we do like this. Object name, string object name, dot method name, and in the parentheses we put parameters. For example, if we want to use a length method, we need to create an object first, and then we apply the method to the object. However, if we need to invoke math class method, we use class name math here, not object name. Instead of object name, like this. That is, we don't have to create an object to use math class method. So in this section, you will use math.method name and parameters. You will learn why you should do this in chapter 7. ABS method returns the absolute value of a parameter. You know that the values in the parentheses are parameters. So if you put double value here, then this method returns the absolute value of this double value. And if we put float value here, then this method returns the absolute value of this float value. Likewise, if we put integer here, then return value also integer. And if we put long type data here, then this method returns the absolute value of this long value. Let's see an example. Here, A and A2 are integers, and B and B2 are integers. C and C2 are integers. D and D2 are integers. I applied ABS method to A. So as you see, when you use math method, then math dot should be used. So math dot ABS A means A is minus 5. So the absolute value of minus 5 is plus 5. So plus 5 will be returned here, and then it goes to A2. So A2 print out 5. And if we put here B, long value, here is 2345 will be here, then plus 2345 will be returned this place, and then it will go to B2. So this is printed out. And C is minus 24.5, so here minus 24.5. So plus 24.5 will be here and then goes into C2. So this will print out. And D, this is plus value. So if, because this is plus value, the return value is also same, this value. So D is like this. This is how to use ABS. POW A, B returns the value of A raised to the power of B. POW AB returns double value. Math.POW method should have two parameters. So there should be two numbers here. Any numeric value can be parameters. So byte, short, int, long, float, double, any kind of numeric values can be inside here. But the return value always double type. Let's see an example. Here a and b are integers, and c and d are also integers, and x and y are double values. I will apply POW method to these numbers. So first, POW a, b 5, 2. This means that POW will compute a to the b, that is 5 squared. 5 squared will be calculated. So A and S have 25.0. Because this is double value, A and S have 25.0. This is important. Method POW will return double value, so you always have double value here, double type value here. And C, D is 3 and 4, so 3 to the 4th, that is 81. So A and S has 81, and this is double, and x to the y is 2.1 to the 3.0. So it will have this value. So the important thing here is that you can put any data type, any numeric data type can be inside parentheses, but you always return value is a double type. So you must put double data here. Sqrt method is a square root method. So it returns the correctly rounded positive square root of a double value. It also returns double value. So method Sqrt, and in the parentheses you put one number. The number can be any numeric value. So byte short into long float double, any value can be in the parentheses, and the return value is double type. Let me show you how to use Sqrt, square root method. ABC, these three ABC data, I will use these three data as parameters of square root method. So A, B, C will be here. And the first A is 100. The square root of 100 is 10. So 10 will be returned here. And method square root will return double value. So I must put double data type here. So x will have 10 and b is 2500. The square root of 2500 is 50. So 50 will be returned here, and then y will have the number 50. And this also should be double type. And c is this number. C will go here, and then we will find the square root of this number, and z will have that number. Z also should be defined as double type. This is how to use square root. This example is from the textbook. This is to determine the roots of a quadratic equation. I think everyone knows what quadratic equation is. And to solve quadratic equation, we need to use quadratic formula. So this code at first read three integers. Those are this number A, B, and C. So the code at first read this number and then find the root using this formula. So at first read from the keyboard three numbers, and then this is the quadratic formula part, and then compute root using quadratic formula. So at first this discriminant, this is this part, this is the discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac. B squared can be computed using POW method. And then minus 4ac, minus 4 times a times c. In computer coding, we cannot omit this multiplication sign. So you must write 4 times a times c. And then the code will compute root. There are two roots. So minus b is minus 1 times b. And then the code should compute square root. So master square root is used. And inside the square root, there is a discriminant. And then divide by 2a is 2 times a. Then we can have two roots. And this is a sample running of the code. So at first the code will read three numbers. 1, 2, 1. So quadratic equation would be like this. And then here is the roots. I think you can check this is correct or not. So I hope you just type the code by yourself and then try run the code and then run several times so until you understand the code and how to use math methods.